How was it that America's first all-female EMT Corps was created in a community where a woman is typically expected to focus on being a mother and any profession or extra schooling is discouraged? That's the question that filmmaker Paula Eizelt answers in her new POV documentary, 93 Queen. In the process, she introduces us to an Orthodox Jewish woman who, as a practicing attorney, has already challenged her society's expectations and who sees the need to rethink entrenched gender roles in that community even further. Here's a look.
In the Hasidic community, there's a huge divide between the genders. I'm being told that it's not right for Jewish girls to become EMTs. So when I first went to Hatzalah, oh no, they told me, Mrs. Fryer, when it comes to speed and strength, men are superior.
Hatzalah is the boys' club. It took like 30 years for somebody like Ruchi to come around and say, hey, you don't want us, we'll do our own thing.
And joining us now is the director, producer, and cinematographer of 93 Queen, Paula Eizelt. Paula, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
You know, this is a fascinating documentary. It's a fascinating story, first of all. How did you first hear of it?
So I actually found this story about 6 years ago online. I was perusing this online Orthodox website for fun, and I found a little blurb about a group of Hasidic women who were starting the first all-female ambulance corps. And the reason they were starting this was because the existing all-male corps, called Hatzalah, did not allow women to join. So two things immediately struck me when I read that. The first was that Hatzalah did not allow women. I'm familiar with Hatzalah. I grew up in a neighborhood that actually has Hatzalah. It just never occurred to me that this life-saving organization did not allow women to join, actively banning them. That was very upsetting to me. The second was, here were a group of women, Hasidic women no less, who were not taking no for an answer. Yeah. And just that very fact that they were being defiant, they were saying, if you're not going to let us in, we're going to do our own thing, was really empowering to me as a woman. Sure. And then the fact that this is from the Hasidic community is an added something really exceptional.
Wow. So talk about Rachel Ruchi Fryer. Who is she?
Who is Rachel Fryer? She's so many things, but at her core, she's an activist. Yeah. And she's a change maker, and she's a trailblazer. She has done so much for the Hasidic community and does a lot of things, even before Ezras Nashim, kind of in the background. She knows how to make change from within. So.
Yeah, I mean, but how did she get that way? I mean, she's so far from at least the stereotype of the Hasidic woman, so far away from the mold. What were the influences that made her? I mean, she's one of the most impressive people I've ever seen, honestly.
Yes, she truly is. I think it's a nature thing. Mm-hmm. This is how, growing up, she was always a go-getter, mm-hmm. But she does credit her mother for really instilling this in her, that you always have to stand up for what's right. Yeah. So that was something within her, and I think the more community activism she did, the more she wanted to do. Yeah. Ruchi is also, Ruchi/Rachel, is also very uncompromising in her beliefs and in her values.
We see that.
Yes. And whereas stereotypically, being from the Hasidic community and living in a very insular place, from the outside can seem as a detriment. How can she break in to the outside world? How can she have the opportunity she's had? But she's kind of reversed that and used that as a strength. Yeah. Now,
the hostility of Hatzalah, how do you pronounce that?
Hatzalah.
Hatzalah, of that organization, the men's EMT group, the hostility that they have towards this new organization that Rachel is trying to create. What's the source of that? Is it just old plain sexism? Is it religious beliefs, or is it that they're trying to crush the competition?
I think it's everything combined. What you just said. There's no straight up answer. It used to be, the first answer was they don't want the genders mingling on calls. but that doesn't really make sense because you're treating women patients anyway.
Right.
And also, that can be easily worked out. That's not
course.
something that is, that's unworkable. I believe it's about power.
Yeah.
And, they have claimed EMS space in the community. And to all of a sudden have a new organization, especially women,
Right.
come in is very threatening to them. Hatzalah is, and they're an incredible organization. They save lives. We're talking about an ambulance corps here. But within the Hasidic community, there's also a power element there. And they have a lot of clout, and it goes beyond just saving lives there.
Yeah, and you see the hostility throughout the film. But throughout the film, I'm thinking about it, and they cover it as, this is not a role for women. But I'm thinking, there's got to be a lot of Hasidic men who would prefer women to be take care of their daughters or their.
And I think that's a really good point because the average Hasidic guy or even the members themselves are really okay with this. It's the leadership that is really unrelenting with that.
Well, listen, there's all kinds of developments and conflicts in this film that I didn't want to get into because I don't want to give it away because they're really interesting.
Very surprising third act.
Exactly. And it's wonderful. It's a character study, and it's a story of this community. It's just unparalleled. Thank you so much for joining us to talk about it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And a programming note, POV's 93 Queen will premiere on 13 on September 17th at 10 p.m.